Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Megaliths and how to combo with Megaliths. So, in this episode, I'm going to do a card-by-card analysis of most of the cards that are important for the deck, as well as then go through some of the combos and the ways to get through most hands and stuff like that. And then we'll play some test hands. So let's quickly do the card by card. Let's talk about the hand traps first and get those out of the way. I am playing triple Ash Blossom, triple Max C for Master Duel. We're also playing the Nibiru, double Gamma, one Droll, and I think I was playing... Nope, that's it for the hand traps. However, we're also playing Crossout Designator, and that's why we're playing one Nibiru and one Droll. The reason is Droll shuts down this deck as well as Nibiru, so having a Crossout Designator to deal with that pretty effectively is very, very nice. Moving on to the actual cards that we are playing, we have four hard garnets, kind of, three. We are playing 3 hard garnets in Deskbot 001, needs to be in the deck. O-Lion, I don't think it needs to be in the deck. It might be. It might need to be in the deck, but O-Lion and then Driver doesn't necessarily need to be in the deck, but you don't want to see it in your hand. It doesn't do anything. We are also playing 1 soft garnet in Researcher. This can be searched out, but it's not bad to have in hand. You could even play more of this card if you wanted to. It's just a nice free special summon as long as you control a Megalith monster. So, let's move on to the other support cards surrounding Megaliths before I actually talk about Megaliths. So we are playing the Incantation package with 1 Candle, 1 Talismandra, triple Chalice Slime, and lastly the Incantation Inception. So basically, you reveal a Chalice Slime, you discard a card, you special summon out either one of these. This one will search out a ritual monster, so definitely most of the time what you're going to go for. And then this one will search out the ritual spell. The ritual spell special summons by tributing off any of the incantations in order to go for a ritual summon of any of your ritual monsters. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, you can tribute an incantation, special summon one from the deck, and return this guy to the hand from the grave. Very nice. Chalice Slime also, notably, does decrease your life by 2,500 if you don't end up ritual summoning after you activate this guy's effect. So, do keep that in mind. It comes up rarely, but it is something to keep in mind. Moving on, we are also playing triple Manju, triple Senju, pretty self-explanatory. All of our ritual monsters are very important. The ritual spells, not so much. We're also playing 3 Prep of Rites. It gets us to everything except for our level 8s, so just a very solid card. As for the... Oh, sorry. We're also playing Ben 10. Ben 10's just crazy. It can search out itself. It can also search out any of these guys because they are light fairies as well. So, absolutely crazy card. Moving on to the actual Megaliths. First of all, let's talk about Full. This card is the heart and soul of the deck. What you do is, if it is ritual summoned, you target a ritual monster in the grave, this card's level becomes that level, and then you add the target to the hand. And then, quick effect, during the main phase, you can ritual summon a Megalith from the deck using materials on the hand or field. So, absolutely crazy. It's quick effect ritual summoning, which is very, very nice. Following that up, we have Ophiel and Haggith. Both of these cards search when they are summoned. So, Ophiel searches a monster, Haggith searches a spell or trap. Both of them also have the effect during the main phase. They contribute themselves off in order to ritual summon a ritual monster. They have to tribute themselves as well as potentially something else if the levels are high enough. But yeah, they just tribute themselves to special summon a ritual monster from hand. So Ophiel can search Haggith and then special summon it to the field, getting Haggith to also search. Very, very solid combo. And it sets up for the graveyard, which is important, and we'll talk about that in a sec. We also have Auk. Auk does the same thing as Haggith and Ophiel by ritual summoning while it's on the field. However, instead of it being a slow effect, it is a quick effect, allowing you to use this during your opponent's turn. On top of that, when it's summoned, you can draw a card and then send a card. Realistically, this card is most easily cut, seeing as how we have other names that we can go for, as in Ben 10 and the Chalice Slime, so we don't necessarily need this card in order to do our combos. But it is still very nice to have that ability to quick effect tag out in case you need to play around some sort of disruption. You could just like quick effect ritual summon. Very, very nice. Moving on, we are playing Double Aeratron. This is a quick effect from hand ritual summon. So you discard this card, and then you tribute a monster either on the field or in the grave, or sorry, not in the grave, on the field or in the hand in order to ritual summon from the hand. Very, very solid. Also, while it's on the field, you can negate any, you can negate the effect of a targeted effect, right? You shuffle back a monster from the grave, or a ritual monster from the grave, to negate anything that would target a ritual monster you control. Then we are playing one Phaleg. This card on the field allows your monsters to be very big. You gain 300 attack and defense. All of your monsters gain 300 attack and defense for each ritual monster in the grave. Absolutely crazy card. On top of that, it allows you to ritual summon from the hand. You discard this and then tribute to special summon using monsters from hand or field. So, very simple. It's just like a ritual spell. You know, you just send it much like a ritual spell. Same with this guy. And then Bethor does the same thing. You discard just like a ritual spell in order to special summon or ritual summon from the hand. However, what Bethor does, and the reason we're playing two of this card, is it is able to pop cards equal to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard. So, you target cards on the field equal to the amount of names you have in the grave. Which is why going for Ophiel to search Haggith and then summoning out the Haggith is good, because it gets Ophiel into the grave. That's a name for Bethor, which adds to the amount of cards that you can pop. Also, because of the fact that it is on summon that it gets this effect, you can go into a full, which allows you to then tribute another monster to go for the Bethor on the opponent's turn, allowing you to disrupt the opponent's plays, which is what makes it so very powerful. On top of that, it's just a combo starter, which is very, very nice. So, one of the best cards, but the reason we're playing two is because we have a million ways of searching it out. Ophiel is pretty consistent to get to. We can summon it off of Unformed, which I'll talk about in a second. We can summon it, or we can search it off of Senju or Manju. We can search it off of, or we can't search it off of Ben 10, but we can search it off of Talismandra, which we're playing multiples of because of Chalice Slime. There are a myriad of ways to get to it, so it's not that big of a deal if we're only running two. Same thing with Aeratron as well as Phaleg. Okay, moving on. We are playing Triple Unformed. This card's really, really solid. It has the first effect where all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack for each ritual monster on the field until the end of this turn, which is nice, but it's not that big of a deal most of the time. The main reason that you use it is for this second effect. It is a quick play spell card, so do keep that in mind. Ritual summon a Megalith ritual monster from your deck in defense position by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal exactly twice its level. So, basically, it's a quick effect ritual summon. However, the cost is pretty steep. If you want to summon out an 8, you will need 16 levels on the field or in the hand in order for you to do that. So it's not necessarily used to summon out Bethor. Mostly what it's used for is to summon out any of your level 4s, right? You tribute off a level 8, and then you summon out one of your level 4s, allowing you to get another search. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, real quick. Ophiel and Haggith are not once per turn. I don't think Auk is once per turn either on their summon effects. So, you could summon out an Ophiel, use its effect to ritual summon, and then ritual summon out another Ophiel to get 2 searches of different monsters. You could do the same thing with Haggith. You can Haggith into another Haggith in order to search out 2 different spells. Or 2 of the same spells. Who cares? Notably, Unformed has that same stipulation where there's not a once per turn. You can use this card however many times you want. If you have all 3, you can use all 3. So do keep that in mind. Most of these cards don't have a hard once per turn, the exception being Full. I think also Bethor has a once per turn. Yeah, Phaleg, Bethor both have hard once per turns on their ritual summoning. Same with Eritron. So all of the ritual summoning effects are hard once per turns. All of the, or most of the other effects are not. I'm not entirely certain with Bethor. Yeah, Bethor is a hard once per turn. So there you go. But yeah, Unformed allows you to continue your combos most of the time. You'll search it out with Haggith most of the time, just to get that extra combo started. Moving on, we are also playing 1 Portal. Portal is a field spell that protects your ritual summoned monsters from battle once per turn. Also, if a Megalith monster is special summoned, you can target a ritual monster in the graveyard to add it to your hand. This is really good for specifically chain blocking. We'll talk about that in the duels, but in all honesty, this card's absolutely crazy, and we're only playing 1 because it's searchable off of Haggith, and you don't want it all the time. I mean, you do want it, but you don't need it all the time. We are also playing 1 Megalith Emergence. You just special summon a Megalith from your graveyard in defense position. However, if it were to leave the field, it goes to the bottom of the deck instead. Just very solid, adds the recursion, adds levels back onto the field, which is very nice for something like Full or Eritron. So, very, very solid. And then, of course, we are also playing Pot of Prosperity and Crossout Designator. Pot of Prosperity because the extra deck doesn't matter as much, and Crossout Designator because we're a combo deck. So, let's talk about the extra deck real quick. We're playing 1 Adamancipator Risen Dragite. This card's really good. The main reason that you are playing it is because it's a negate. But yeah, you can use it or summon it off of Researcher. Very nice. And some other tuners and stuff like that. Just overall a pretty solid card. It's a level 8, which we can go into pretty easily. We're also playing Borreload Savage Dragon, which is just another really solid level 8 to go for. So both of these are just negates that we can go for. We're also playing Herald of the Arclight, just a really solid ritual support card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you can just omni-negate things, and it's kind of a floodgate in the fact that if anything is sent from the main deck or the hand to the grave, it is banished instead. So, just a really solid card. We are playing a couple of XZs. We are playing Abyss Dweller, Gallant Granite, and Baguska as our level 4s. Gallant Granite is the most important one. It adds Block Dragon, which I didn't mention previously, but yeah, we're also playing Block Dragon because it's not banned in Master Duel. So yeah, Gallant Granite searches out Block Dragon. Absolutely crazy card. I'll explain that in a second. But you can also search out all of the Megaliths. So, why is Block Dragon so good? Why are we searching it off of Gallant Granite with all of our level 4s? Well, you can banish 3 Earth monsters, which all of our Megaliths are Earths. On top of the fact that Maxi is also an Earth, which is kind of funny. But you can banish 3 Earth monsters from your hand to special summon this guy. And then, from your hand or grave, sorry. And then on top of that, if it is sent to the graveyard, you can add 3 rock monsters with the levels that equal, up to the levels that equal 8. So you can add 2 2s and a 4, you can add 2 4s, you can add 1 8, all of those. You could add technically 4 2s if you wanted to. You could add a 2 and 2 3s as well, but we're not playing any 3s, so there's that. But on top of that, on top of all of that, rock monsters you control cannot be destroyed. Just cannot be destroyed. Oh, hold on. Except by battle. I don't know why, but there you go. Added protection. This card's crazy. Anyway, so what you would normally do is you would use this as a link material in order to search out a Full, your Researcher, and then one of your level 4s. That's the main reason to use it. We'll talk about the combos with this in the duels. But yeah, Gallant Granite mostly searches out that. We are also playing Zeus and 1 rank 8 in Hope Harbinger. It's just the best rank 8. We do have a couple of 8s, so it's just the best one. Most of the time, you're not going to be summoning this, though. Moving on to the Link monsters. We are playing 1 Masquerena. We are playing 1 Crystron Halqifibrax, and 1 Mecham Phantom Beast Auroradon for that combo. pretty self-explanatory. You go Halqifibrax into Auroradon, and then into more Synchro monsters and the like. We are also playing one Nightmare Phoenix and Unicorn. The Unicorn is more so for the IP Masquerena, so that you can quick effect just spin one of your opponent's monsters. Or you could also go into Apollousa. I prefer Apollousa. Apollousa is just crazy. You could make a 3-mat Apo, no problem. We're also playing Access Code Talker because it's the best way to OTK, and we can get a lot of monsters onto the field. So, let's hop into the explanation of the different combos. Alright, so here we are in our first combo. This is more or less the bread and butter. And basically, it's just either Ophiel or Haggith, and a way to get to either Bethor or Phaleg or Eritron, right? Any of the 8s. So as long as you have either Ophiel or Haggith, and then any of the 8s, a way to get to any of the 8s, as well as a level 4 or higher monster, you should be able to do this combo. Now, granted, this isn't through an Ash Blossom, so do keep that in mind. What you're going to do is, we're going to start out with this Monju here. We're going to normal summon the Monju. We're going to activate its effect in order to search out our... We're going to go for Bethor this time. So I will add the Bethor here. We will activate the Bethor. We will send it to the graveyard in order to tribute off. Now, granted, I could just tribute off this Monju here. So, in fact, I'm going to do that in order to special summon out our Ophiel. Ophiel's effect will activate. We will add to the hand a... where is he? A Haggith. So Haggith to the hand, we will activate the effect of Ophiel in order to special summon out our Haggith. Haggith effect will now activate. Haggith will search out in Unformed. Unformed now allows us to... we can now activate the Unformed in order to go for a full by tributing off our Haggith. So Haggith is level 4. So we can go for a level 2. Now, granted, we could go for Ophiel here or another Haggith here if we wanted to, because we have the Auk in hand. But we'll just say that we don't have this. So we will go for a full here. So we can special summon out full here. Full will then add to the hand one of our ritual monsters. We're going to go for the Bethor because it allows us to get a level 8 into our hand. So we're going to add this guy to our hand. But more importantly, it creates... it makes full a level 8. Now, granted, I could also do this with a level 4, and then I could make my guy a level 4 if I wanted to go for Gallant Granite. So, there's that. I prefer having a level 8 full, but you know what? I'll showcase the level 4 version instead. So, I'll send the Bethor to the grave, and instead we will add a Haggith or something like that. Doesn't really matter. So, we'll add the Haggith to the hand here. Now we can activate the effect of full. We can tribute off our Ophiel, or whatever it is that we ended up having in hand, to summon out another one. So here we will summon out a... we'll summon out Haggith here by tributing off this Ophiel. This is just not needed, so we're just going to put that away. Haggith will activate. We will search another one of our spells. So this time we are going to add, instead of Unformed, I'm going to add a... we can add Emergence to our hand, right? And now we can overlay these two in order to go for a Gallant Granite. Now Gallant Granite will... hold on. We'll detach one of these in order to search out a... Block Dragon. So Block Dragon will come to our hand, and then we will banish 3 of our ritual monsters. Doesn't really matter what 3, but since we already have another Haggith in rotation, we're going to banish this one. So we will banish, banish, and banish. And then we will special summon out the big boy himself. Then we will link off these 2. So they will go to the grave and to the grave. And then we will special summon out a Masquerena. Okay. Then the effect of the Block Dragon will activate. We will get a search for full. The Adamancipator Researcher. Oh, sorry. This had to be... Sorry, I'm really bad. Emergence had to be in Unformed. I'm sorry. That was a big mistake for me. So we're going to grab up that instead. So yeah, we'll grab a full, the Researcher, and then a level 4. So we will add to the hand in Ophiel, I guess. So yeah, there you go. The reason it's necessary to have Unformed here is because we need to activate it to tribute off this Ophiel. Send that guy to the grave. In order to special summon out a full. Now, full's effect isn't going to activate, and it's not really going to do anything here. Now, if I had an 8 in hand, that would be better. We could then go Unformed into an Ophiel, which would be significantly better, because then we could get the advantage back. But here, we're just going to say that we didn't have anything else. So, now that we have full on our side of the field, we can special summon out this Researcher, since we have a rock on the field. Then we can send both of these to the graveyard in order to go for a Crystron Halcofibrex. Since now we have a tuner on the field, we can go for Crystron Halcofibrex. Halk's effect is going to activate in order to special summon out the, where is he? Where is he? He's one of our hard garnet. Yeah, here we go. The Despot 001. And then this is pretty much what most people know, at least somewhat. We special summon out the Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Auroradon's effect is going to activate to give us 3 tokens. So I will special summon out these 3 tokens in defense position. And then we will special summon out our 001 from the grave. And now we have enough to go for a 4 here. So what we are going to do is we are going to... Okay, so, sorry about that. I went back a few steps because I figured out how this combo works. So I'm going to tribute off one of our tokens as well as the Auroradon in order to go for an O-Lion. Sorry, hold on. O-Lion from a deck. I've never done this combo, actually, so I'm a little rusty on how it works. But now this is 3, 3, and 8. And 2, which is 8 in total. So now we can go for a Savage Dragon. We'll send all of these to the grave. And then with Savage Dragon, we can either target the Crystron Halcofibrex or the Auroradon and equip it. Crystron Halcofibrex just kind of makes the most sense here, because I don't think we need more than 2 negates, and access code is nice. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll equip the Auroradon. Oh, sorry, not what I wanted. 2 Spell or Trap. There we go. So this guy now becomes a really big boy, and he gets the 3 negates. There we go. And then because O-Lion was sent to the graveyard, it will special summon another token that is this time level 2, allowing us, this is also level 3. Sorry. Which then allows us to go for the synchro summon of the Herald of Arclight. So there you go. That is the combo. And yeah, this is what you can end on without needing another card, right? We still have full in hand, which doesn't really do anything, but it is basically 2 negates, as well as potentially a spin from the deck, or spin from on the field. So yeah. Masquerena is nice, but not really too necessary, but it does really help you in getting a monster, or getting into this position. So even with this, it's pretty nice, and you could potentially have either more cards in hand, you could potentially have a Bethor in your hand, and other such things. So let me explain the rest of this. Alright, so here we have a pretty unusual hand. We do have Unformed, which is basically the combo starter, and is the best one, because it special summons from deck. And then we have 2 level 4s. Now, these could be any levels, but it's much harder when you have level 4 or lowers, and the ones that aren't normal summonable. You do need at least 2 to make this playable, but at the very least, let's see how this goes. So, we're going to start off with Unformed. Unformed is going to then special summon out full here. The reason I go for full instead of going for an Ophiel or a Haggith or something like that and tributing off both of these is because it's way better to go for full here, because then we can just send one of these guys to the graveyard, and then this guy will add the one back to the hand, and then increase its level. So this guy will return to the hand. Even though he was in the grave, he just goes right back to the hand. So now we can activate the second effect of full in order to tribute off either one of these guys to special summon from the deck. So I'm going to send this Haggith to the grave. There it is. In order to special summon out the Ophiel. So we'll special summon out this guy. Ophiel's effect will activate. We will search out the Haggith. And then Ophiel will send itself to the grave in order to special summon out the Haggith. Haggith effect will activate. We will search out... we can actually search out a portal here. Portal here is very nice, seeing as how we already have another Ophiel in our grip. So let's do that. I'll show you how portal works here as well. So we're going to activate the portal here. Then we will activate Haggith's effect. We will special summon out our Ophiel. And then we will chain block with Ophiel as Chainlink 1. And then portal as Chainlink 2. So what will happen is first we will target our monster. We'll add back the Haggith since we have 2 in the grave. It's nice to get another one into the hand. And then we will get our search. So we will search here with our... Ophiel, and we could search for any of the level 8s. That's going to be our best option, seeing as how we've used everything else. So let's go for a Eritron, seeing as how it is basically just the best one to have in hand, since it's a quick effect special summon. So then we could go for a Link play into like IP Masquerena. We could go for Gallant Granite and search out a Block Dragon from here, or I'm going to do something and say that maybe that's not the best idea, so let's instead go for the Eritron. So I'm going to send this guy to the graveyard. We will send the Ophiel to the graveyard as well, and then we will special summon out the Haggith. So Haggith effect will then be able to search again, and we will be able to add another Unformed, or we could even add in Emergence here, right? So we could add this guy to our hand. Right, and then we could do the overlay and continue to play with Gallant Granite into Block Dragon into the combo that I just showed you. Also while having the Megalith portal, and then we could also have Emergence to special summon any of our special summoned monsters. So anything except for the Eritron could be special summoned back. We could also just keep the full on the field and potentially go for something like a Haggith play, a Bethor play by tributing off these two, or tributing off whatever we end up summoning off of the Emergence in order to pop a whole bunch of cards on the opponent's side of the field. It kind of depends on what deck you may be playing against, or whatever it is that you may choose to do. I think Gallant Granite is probably the best play from this point, but at this point, we now have Emergence as well, so whenever you are able to see Unformed, it becomes way better for you. Alright, let's say we start with a hand like this. Everyone knows it. You got a whole bunch of hand traps and one combo starter. Well, let's be honest, if there is a single form of interaction your opponent has, you kind of just lose. Unless they, for some reason, allow you to get this search. But let's say that they don't have anything at the moment and they're like, okay, go off king. So, what we're going to do is, Senju is going to activate its effect. We are going to be able to search. Now, what's important is this card, as long as it is a ritual that is not full, you will be fine. Okay? I guess it also can't be Benten. But other than those two, you should be fine. As long as it's a ritual that is not one of those two, you should be fine. All you have to do is either search out the ritual summon, the monster that you want to ritual summon, so either an Ophiel or a Haggith, or you have to search out the way to ritual summon them. Right, Bethor, Phaleg, or Atrioc, or not Atrioc. I cannot remember that guy's name. Where is he? Eritron. Atrioc. What? Anyway, so we're gonna add the Phaleg to the hand. Doesn't matter which one. No. So we're gonna send this guy to the graveyard as well as the Senju to the graveyard in order to special summon out our Ophiel. So Ophiel will then get the search, and at this point, you should know the combo, but we grab Haggith. Haggith grabs an unformed. Unformed go into full. Full go into, or, add back, search out, what have you. Special summon, go into full combo, Gallant Granite, etc., etc. But yeah, as you can see, even just one, as long as your opponent doesn't have any forms of interaction, just that singular card as well as a ritual summonable monster is very solid for you. Alright, so in this combo, we will be using the Incantation, half of the line. So, as long as you have Talismandra in the deck, this combo works. All you need, Incantation, Chalice Slime, anything to discard, and then any Megalith. So what you will do is you will reveal this guy. He will then discard a card. So we'll discard the driver, and then special summon out the Talismandra. Talismandra will then on summon search out a ritual monster. So here, since I have the Eritron, I will be able to add our Ophiel. Sure. We will add the Ophiel to the hand. Eritron will then be able to use its effect. So we are going to send this guy to the graveyard, and then we will send the Talismandra to the graveyard in order to... Oh, sorry, I clicked that. In order to summon out the Ophiel, and then from there, we get the full combo, while still having Chalice Slime in the hand to use for next turn. You only have to reveal it and then discard a card. You don't have to reveal anything in particular. Just reveal it, special summon it, and then begin special summoning. But yeah, there you go. Pretty simple, and then you can just full combo from there. Alright, so we're going to use that same trick we just learned with the Chalice Slime in order to, well, optimize our hand. So here we actually have none of our Megaliths, so let's quickly change that. First of all, we're going to reveal the Incantation Chalice Slime. We're going to send to the graveyard our card. Did I banish that? Whoops, oh well, doesn't matter. So we will add it to our hand here, or sorry. First of all, we got a special summon. So we will special summon out the Talismandra, and then Talismandra will search out any of our level 8, specifically our level 8s of the Megaliths. The reason for this is because this can search out any ritual monster. However, Preparation of Rites requires level 7 or lower ritual monsters. So do keep that in mind. We will add the Bethor here. I accidentally sent that to the grave. I meant to add that to the hand. Whoops, I'm bad. There we go. Okay. And then our Preparation of Rites will activate, and we will search out the other combo piece. So here we will search out a... we'll add the Haggith to the hand. Okay. So, Bethor will then activate its effect. We will tribute the Ben 10 in order to special summon out the Haggith. So let us special summon out this guy. Then we will activate in Chain Link 1 the Haggith, and then Chain Link 2 will be the Ben 10. So Ben 10 effect will go first. That's not what that's not what I wanted. I wanted this guy to the hand. So there we go. We'll add the Manju of the 10,000 hands to the hand, and then we will actually get our search for a... we can either go for Portal here or Unformed. Both are fine, but I'm going to go for the Portal here. Unformed is probably better, but I'll show you that it really doesn't matter. So we'll go Manju here. We will search out our Ophiel. So Ophiel will add to the hand. We will use the Haggith to special summon out the Ophiel, and then Ophiel will search out a Haggith, and then special summon it. So Haggith will then... oh, sorry. I was supposed to special summon that. There we go. And then we will search out the Unformed. See, you didn't really need the Unformed there, because there's the 2 searches. However, I would have activated the Portal here in order to add back our Bethor or our first Haggith. Realistically, it's probably better to add back the Bethor. It's not really doing any good in the grave, whereas the Ophiel and the Haggith, since we have more in the deck, we can still utilize. Also, because of the fact that we added back the Bethor off of the Portal, sorry, I just kind of sequenced that poorly, we are able to use this Bethor in order to tribute it off. So we will tribute, send it to the grave, in order to special summon out. We could special summon out Auk here, or we could special summon out another Ophiel, or what have you. Actually, yeah. So realistically, here I actually want to add the full. So I'm not actually going to go for the Bethor here. We're instead going to tribute off this Manju. Sorry. I could go and keep cycling more cards, but in all reality, just going for full here is way better. So we're going to special summon out the full. Full will then allow us to add back an Ophiel. So we're going to add the Ophiel back to hand, and then we are able to... we can't actually overlay or anything like that because of the Talismandra that we have on field. It prevents us from going into the extra deck. So, however, with that being said, this is still pretty fine. We could still activate the full here in order to ritual summon again. So we can actually send off our Bethor if we wanted to ritual summon an 8, or we could go for another 4, or what have you. In fact, I'm going to go for a 4 so that we can get this Talismandra off the field. So we're going to activate Full's effect in order to go for another 4. Here I'm actually going to go for the Auk, because we do have a card that's basically not too useful in the hand. So we will be able to get a draw, and then this card will go to the grave. Or whatever it is that we want to do. And then we can overlay these two. And the reason I'm doing this combo is because, while we've already seen the Gallant Granite combo, it is different because of the fact that our zones are a little bit more full. So we do need to keep that in mind. I'm going to detach this Auk here. Remember that you want to have different named cards in the grave. So if I were to detach the Haggath, I wouldn't have an extra pop with the Bethor. But here I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So do keep that in mind. We're going to detach the Auk to give us a potential extra pop. So here we will do the search. And here I could search for a myriad of things. Again, the best one to search for is our Block Dragon. So we will add this guy to the hand. And then we will banish... it's funny, Max C being an Earth does technically matter here, because you could banish the Max C in order to special summon out the Block Dragon, but we're going to act as if that's not the case. So we're going to banish 1, we are going to banish 2, and oh no, we literally need to do that. So we'll banish the 1 from hand. So we'll banish the Ophiel, and then special summon out the Block Dragon. So, where is it? Hello? There we go. Okay. And now we can go into a... we can go into an IP Masquerena. So we will use the Block Dragon and the Gallant Granite in order to add to our hand a full, another Ophiel to the hand, and then, of course, Researcher, which is right here. So we'll add the Researcher to the hand, and since we already have a full on the field, we don't need to actually special summon out anything, since we can just special summon out the Researcher, which means it's slightly different, but it's still the same combo. We're just skipping a step, which is actually really nice. So now we can just link these two off. So send it to the grave and to the grave, and then go into the Crystron Halqifibrax, and then go into special summon Aurora Dawn into the full combo from there. We also still have Portal, and then this time we have a lot more cards in hand, even after the Block Dragon. So, all in all, very solid. Alright, so now I want to showcase a combo that doesn't require you to have a Block Dragon, because Block Dragon is banned. And now, I'm going to showcase this one with Ben 10, but realistically, this could not be Ben 10, and the only change is that you would still need a level 4 or higher monster, and then another level 4 Megalith. So, that's the only difference. So we're going to showcase this with the Ben 10, and then without the Ben 10, to give you more of an idea of how to play this without Block Dragon, since Block Dragon is banned. So, first of all, we are going to activate our Phaleg here in order to special summon out our full by using the Ben 10. So we will special summon out this guy, and then we will activate the effect of full, and then the Ben 10, or it's probably better to actually activate the Ben 10 and then the full, in case they have Ash Blossom. You're a lot less likely to get, like, no, it's not Ghost Ogre. The other one. Although Ghost Ogre would also just kind of stop you dead in your tracks. So do keep that in mind, unless you had more cards in hand. But all in all, doesn't really matter. We are going to get our search of the Senju or Manju, doesn't really matter. And then we will be able to add back to the hand our Phaleg. So we're going to add this guy back to our hand. And now the full is level 8. Okay, we're going to normal summon the Senju here. Senju will be able to search out a... Sorry, hold on. We will search out the Haggith here. Actually, no, I'm going to search out the Ophiel here. We're going to add the Ophiel to our hand, and then we will activate the effect of Full in order to tribute off our Senju in order to special summon out Haggith. Haggith's effect, the reason I go for Haggith here is because we already have 2 Megalith monsters in our hand, so getting a spell into rotation is way more valuable. That's mostly the reason. So we are going to go Haggith here, and we will add ourselves a Portal. So we will add Portal to the hand. We will activate the Portal. We will use the Haggith to special summon out Ophiel. Ophiel will then search. Portal will then chain block in order to add back our Haggith to the hand. And Ophiel will... Sorry. Ophiel will search. And since we already have a Haggith in hand, we could go for another Haggith. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. We could go for Auk. That also doesn't really make a lot of sense. So instead, what we will go for is the Eritron. It allows us to, you know, get another ritual summon from the hand into rotation. So we will then use the Ophiel's effect to special summon out the Haggith that we just got back in order to go for another search here. Remember, our full is level 8 as well. So here we will activate our Haggith to search out an Unformed. And then we can go for the Unformed here. And we can either tribute off our Phaleg to go for another 4, like Auk or something like that. Or we could tribute off our full. Realistically, I feel like the Phaleg is probably better. And then we could go for an Ophiel to search out a Bethor. So let's do that. We will send the Phaleg to the grave. And then we will special out the Ophiel. So we will special this guy. And then this goes to the grave. We will activate this guy's effect in order to search out the Bethor. So now we will add the Bethor to the hand. So now we actually have 2 ways during our opponent's main phase in order to special summon out this Bethor. We can either special summon from hand with the Eritron, or we can special summon using Full's effect on the field. Both of which we can tribute off the Haggith and the Ophiel in order to special summon it, allowing us to get at least 4 pops, which is insane. They are targeted pops, but still, 4 card destructions is really, really solid. On top of that, I could potentially go into something like a Baguska, if I so chose, because we do have the Eritron. We could tribute off the full in order to go for Bethor. Honestly, though, probably not the best idea, given the fact that that would negate our own effect. I could go for a Masquerena here as well. Again, not too great of an idea, given the fact that we would literally have nothing at that point. I could go for Gallant Granite to search out potentially another Eritron or something along those lines. We could search out just anything, really. And then we could use the Eritron in our hand to special summon out another Eritron or special summon out a Bethor or something like that. So there's that. I would realistically stop at this point because we have a lot of recursion thanks to Portal. We can add back from the hand. We can pop up to 4 cards. Actually, up to 5 cards, technically, if you were to potentially... No. Yeah, you could only tribute... you could only pop up to 4 cards. You can't really do a whole lot more than that. We can't really play like Halqifibrax. We don't have any tuners. We don't have Selene or anything like that. So realistically, this is the best place to stop. But let's say that you want to continue playing. And so we are going to overlay these 2 together, and we will go for the Gallant Granite, and I'll show you what this could do. So we are going to detach ourselves the Haggith here in order to add to our hand I could go for something like an Auk here in order to draw one, and then we could still have the ritual summon of the Bethor from the hand, but I think realistically it's probably better to add an Aeritron to our hand. And then we will activate the effect of this guy, since we have not already. And then we could special summon out our Aeritron, which protects us from targeted effects. And then we could go for a full. But realistically, the fact that there are so many different cards that specifically don't target to deal with card effects like this, it's not really the greatest idea. But yeah, potentially, say this was games 2 or 3, you could also go into an Aeritron, and you're like, hey, they're playing a lot of Imperm, a lot of Effect Veiler, stuff like that are specifically targeted, then this card is pretty nice. So yeah, you could also end on a board like this, with still access to a Bethor. While it is in your hand, you could still summon from the deck by using the Bethor that's currently in your hand, so there's that as well. And then you would also get the portal effect on that second turn. So let me actually quickly explain, while we're still here, how that would look. So say your opponent starts playing, they get 4 cards onto the field, say they haven't interrupted you at this point, or maybe they targeted you with something, so you're able to activate the effect of your Aeritron, right? What you're going to do is you're going to shuffle a card back from your hand into the deck, or sorry, from your graveyard into the deck. So we are going to shuffle back this guy. To the top of the deck. There we go. And then we would shuffle this. But yeah, your opponent keeps playing. They get 4 cards onto the field, and you feel like now is a good time to go for Bethor, right? So what we are going to do is we're going to activate the Fool's effect. We are going to pitch, or tribute the Bethor in our hand in order to special summon out another Bethor. Actually, at this point, we could technically get 5 pops. So there's that. So we're going to special summon out this guy into defense position. We're going to activate this guy's effect first, and then we will chain block it with Portal. Now, the reason that this is very, very good is because of the fact that even if they were to get a negate onto the field, these do chain block each other, allowing you to go for a Bethor that is chain blocked by Portal, meaning if they have something that doesn't specifically target, so you may even want to hold your Aeritron protection for the Bethor, or if they don't have something that can like specifically stop the summon of the Bethor, then realistically you're just always going to get this off. So we're going to activate the Bethor and then activate our Portal. Portal will then add back, doesn't really matter at this point, I guess we will add back a Phaleg, so that we could potentially OTK our opponent, and then we can target whatever cards that the opponent has, pop as many as we want to, or as many as we can, and proceed from there. All right, so here is the combo without the Ben 10 particularly, but also one thing that I do want to note is that we're not really playing the best extra deck for the regular TCG. For example, we're not playing Verte or DPE or Baron or any of those cards, which are very, very solid right now, and I would highly suggest playing something like Verte and DPE if you have access to those. So yeah, there's that. But realistically, we also have other rank 4s that we can go for, such as Abyss Dweller, which is absolutely crazy. Turns off any effect that is activated in the graveyard. So just that, like, destroys things like Draco back. It destroys the Enchantress if it's sent to the graveyard. It stops a lot of other cards that, like DPE. DPE literally cannot activate in the grave. So there's a lot of cards that are stopped. Tri-Brigades are still running around, and in fact, I think they topped one of the, won one of the tournaments. I don't remember. But yeah, Abyss Dweller destroys them too. So there's still a lot that Abyss Dweller can do. So going for that instead of something like a Gallant Granite might even be worth it. Anyway, real quick, let's show this combo. We do need at least one of these cards. Hagath is very important. Either Hagath or Ophiel does the trick, but what I'm going to say is that we do want at least some other card. Just anything else with more levels, and you'll see why in a second. So first of all, we are going to Manju search out a level 8. Doesn't matter which level 8. I'm going to search out the Bethor. Bethor is normally the better one to search out. because of the fact that having it just in hand is also just very nice. But Phaleg also works here. So we are going to activate the effect of our Bethor in order to special summon out our... Oh, nope, no. Special summon out the Haggith by tributing off the Senju. You might be wondering why we didn't tribute off this Auk. That will come in later. So we are going to use the effect to add to our hand an Unformed. Unformed is then going to be activated in order to special summon out a Full by tributing off our Haggith. Haggith will then be added back to the hand with the Full to make this guy a level 4. And then we will activate the Full's effect. Sorry, I'm skipping a few steps since we've already covered this. We will activate the Full's effect in order to special summon from the deck our Ophiel. Ophiel will then activate in order to search out another Haggith. So we will add that guy to our hand. And then Ophiel will use its effect to special summon out our Haggith. You might be wondering why I'm putting them all into defense position. It's just because their attacks are low. That's mostly it. So we are going to use the effect of our Haggith in order to add to our hand another Unformed. This is where Auk finally comes in. So we are going to activate our Unformed. We will tribute off another one of our monsters with the Auk. So we will send this guy to the grave as well as our Haggith to the grave in order to special summon out from the deck our our Ophiel. There we go. Oh my gosh. Ophiel effect will activate, allowing us to add in Aratron to the graveyard, or to the hand here. And then this guy goes to the grave. Now, I could have added any level 8 there. It all works the same. But realistically, I could have added Portal, which would have allowed me to... it wouldn't have allowed me to continue the combo, but realistically, what it could do is allow me to go for, on my opponent's turn, to add back more resources, so that maybe this Aratron is also live, right? But in all reality, this is pretty solid. Full can activate its effect in order to tribute off the Aratron, in order to special summon a Bethor from the deck for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card pop. On top of that, we could potentially go for a Phaleg if our opponent is going for just really big boss monsters. We could go for a Phaleg in order to just have really big bodies. Again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 300. Everything's boosted by 1500. Or 1800 because of this guy, because it's 6. So, it's not the best, which is why something like Benten is a little bit better, but all in all, it's still something that you can put up, and if you have, say, 2 other hand traps, this could be enough to win you the game, right? If you have something like an Ash Blossom, or a Nibiru, or something along those lines, even you could have had a Crossout Designator in your hand, which then you could have played through one of those hand traps as well. It's not the greatest, but it is at least something. Alright, so this one's a little bit weird. What if you actually draw the Talismandra instead of the Chalice Slime? Well, as long as you have one other ritual monster, you should be okay. As long as it's a Megalith that can potentially start your combo, or at least something that can start your combo, even a Chalice Slime or a Preparation of Rites or something like that could work. So what you are going to do is you are going to activate this guy. You are going to reveal him by revealing, or sorry, you don't reveal him. You activate his effect to reveal the Megalith. Then you special summon him to the field. And now he locks you out of the extra deck. Do keep that in mind. On top of that, you will then special summon from the deck the Candle. Now, if you don't have Candle in your deck, and you instead have drawn it, this card is dead. This card has to reveal a ritual spell in order to summon it and the Talismandra. So, you don't want Candle. Candle is a hard brick. I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning, but it is. It's a hard brick. You don't want to see it. Anyway, this card will now activate its effect in order to search out a... Incantation Inception. Inception will activate, and we will tribute off the Candle. Actually, I'm going to tribute off the Talismandra because level 6 is way more difficult to deal with than a level 4. So we're going to special summon out the Ophiel. This card will go to the graveyard, and then we will get our search for Ophiel. So Ophiel is going to search out the Haggith here. So we'll add this guy to our hand. And now we can actually activate the graveyard effect. You can send an incantation monster from your hand or face of field to the graveyard in order to special summon an incantation monster from your deck, then add this card from your to your hand. Actually, I don't think we can do that, can we? Because we don't have any more targets. You're right. We can't do that. So this card's just kind of stuck on the field. So what we're going to do is we have to send the Ophiel to the grave to special summon out this Haggith. Haggith will then search out the Unformed. Unformed will then go for Full. Full will then, Unformed will tribute the incantation Candle. Full will then special summon itself from the deck, and then we can search out or add back the Ophiel, and then we still have Haggith's effect. So there you go. That's how that combo works with a Talismandra. All right, let's do one more test hand. This hand is so bad. So first of all, we only really have one play in Chalice Slime. So we're going to activate our incantation Chalice Slime. So we will be able to special summon out our, where is he? There he is. Our Mandrake. So Mandrake will then be able to search out our, I kind of have to go for, yeah, we go for Phaleg here. Phaleg effect. I could go for any of the 8s here. We're going to special summon out our Full. And then tribute off our Benten. So we will send this guy to the grave. And if they Maxeed us, we could have activated an Ash Blossom. That's fine. So there we go. Benten effect is going to search out our Senju. And Full is going to add back our Phaleg. Alright. And then at this point, it should be pretty self-explanatory how to get to the rest of this, but I will continue playing just a little bit more to show you more specifically how to get there. Actually, yeah, I think we have to go for the search of a Beth. Or maybe. Oh, let's go for in. Oh, I should have searched out. Oh no, this was added. This was. Yeah, I added it off of the Mandrake. I should have searched out the Aeratron. This is where the deck is complicated and the lines are not the most simple. So yeah, I could go for a myriad of things, but the fact that I already have a Phaleg that I've used means that I can't really do a whole lot. I think the best option is actually to go for an Aeratron and then just kind of sit on this. Since we are locked out of the extra deck because of the Talismandra, it does make things rather difficult for us. I could go for an Aeratron and then special summon out the Phaleg at the very least. Just so that we have more just monsters on our side of the field. We could even tribute off one of our Ash Blossoms. So, you know what, might as well showcase that. So we'll add this guy to the hand. We'll activate its effect. We will send the Talismandra to the grave as well as one of our Ash Blossoms in order to special summon out our Phaleg. There we go. And now, with our Full being a level 8, I could potentially go into our rank 8, being the Hope Harbinger, if I so chose, which isn't a bad option. It kind of depends on what the opponent is playing, which, you know, there's that. I can't really, I mean, I could go for Masquerena, which could then potentially be Disruption on the opponent's turn, but I feel like having Full on our side of the field is way better. We could tribute off this Phaleg if we wanted to. We could even tribute off the Chalice Slime as well that we have in hand, as well as the Senju, and then we could special summon out a Bethor, and then still have the Phaleg on our field. We'd only be able to pop potentially 3 at most, but that's still pretty solid. And with an Ash Blossom, it could be enough. it could also not be. So there's that. All right. So all in all, hopefully this combo video helped you guys out, and you were able to understand at least some of the combos that took place here. It's a lot of just constantly recycling your cards, since both Haggith and Ophiel don't have hard ones per turns on any of their effects. It allows you to just constantly cycle through your Megalith cards. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully that helped, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much so appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.